Well, hello guys, welcome back to Lokean Gaming. I am feeling so much better. I think once it finally dawned on me that I really don't have to spend time with people I find unpleasant. I'm seriously getting better. I even have some of the Easter stuff cooking. Look at that. This got so much nicer, I wanted to share it with you guys. That and my eyesight's improving, it's one of the two, but it seems a lot nicer to me. So we're gonna spend some time in here and just chat about random stuff. This is really nice now. You can see how much better the lighting is. So if you have this, it's worth checking out. And as I've said before, this is now used... Hi, sweetie. Hello, beautiful. This is now used in homes to help people. To, like, help elderly people and other people with, you know, various illnesses. It's really fun out to help people cope. VR is also used in pain management with people that, you know, they're in so much pain. The drugs aren't even touching it, but there's something about having a VR set on their head that helps them. I think partially because it distracts you. If you're going to be in VR, you're going to be paying attention to it. And it does calm you because it's kind of like putting on blinders. You've got blackness to your left and your right and up and down. I've got an Oculus, so you've got that sneaky little thing that you can look through at the bottom, like the nose vent's really wide. But it kind of closes you off. Kind of just relaxes you. And this music's really pretty, and they've just... Look at the skies. They've really been working on this. They're now a team, by the way. Started off as one guy, and it was pretty rough. And when I first got this game, I was just happy to have nature or anything. It started off pretty rough. These banks used to all be bare, and it was really rough. But to me, it's just really beautiful and relaxing. And it's just nice to have a place to come get away to. If you saw the music video earlier, what you didn't probably hear too much of, though you heard it later in the video, is that there's a lot of construction going on right now in my town. So if you go out, it's not this. It's not, you know, peaceful and quiet. There's construction and people yelling and all this crazy stuff going on. So I might live in the country, but nature isn't always this nice and quiet. So yeah, sometimes you can't go. And, you know, it made me think, when you run a YouTube channel, or you just have your own life, though it's more if you run a channel or you write or do anything online, you'll run into trolls. I'm gonna guarantee you'll run into trolls. And I kind of had an insight today. And I realized that every single troll that's ever harassed me, and it's probably the same for you, they're just like those playground bullies. One, they're very insecure in whatever they have. And two, they're jealous of something you have. And it's usually whatever they're picking on you for. And they're jealous. And they think that if they're mean enough, they can keep you from having and enjoying that thing. And that doesn't make any sense at all, but these people aren't thinking rationally. And there's this psychology article about, oh, these are all the reasons they do it. It's like, no, they're jealous. Now, some people are just mean-spirited. That's true. There are some mean-spirited people out there that get a special joy out of hurting other people because they're so miserable about their own life. But with a lot of people, it's jealousy. And they want you to stop having what they think you don't deserve. And you have to remember that there are always going to be people in your life that think or so threatened by you having something that they think you don't deserve it. And I will tell you, hand to goddess, there's a member of my family that is jealous of homeless people. Hand to goddess. She is jealous of homeless people because they get a nice roof over their head and all these meals and everybody does everything for them. I looked at her and said, really? What reality is this in? She makes it sound like they're living in the Hilton and getting massages and that. I'm like, they're literally living on the streets. A lot of these shelters probably, you know, they'll tell you they're afraid to go to the shelter sometime, or the shelter is full and they don't always get fed and they don't always get help. I'm like, what kind of strange reality are you living in, woman, that you're jealous of homeless people? But she is. She's also jealous of poor people. And this is a woman that's fairly rich, owns multiple properties, is always giving to charity, but then she's jealous of the very people she's giving to because they just have stuff handed to them. She married into her money, by the way. But, you know, I'm very telling it like it is. And I said to her one time, I said, well, if you're so jealous, go be homeless. And she did not want to hear that. I said, no, really, if you think they have it so wonderful, go be homeless. And so sometimes you're going to run into people in your life that have this irrational jealousy of you. They don't like you having whatever you have. It doesn't even have to make sense. It could be the color of your eyes or your hair or your skin tone. It could be the language you speak, where you live, what you have or don't have. People will get jealous for the stupidest reasons because they feel threatened because you have it and they don't. They want you having something they don't have. So they'll attack you. Oh, this is beautiful. I want to show you this up here. Hopefully you guys are seeing this. Let's see if it's still going to work now. There we go. See that? Isn't that pretty? It's been added in to the night stages, so if you'll turn the night on, Loki don't help, it will come through and look at that. No, I do try to keep in mind that my eyes adjust, and your eyes probably aren't adjusting quite as well. Sometimes it's not your eyes actually, it's the computer only sees what it can see, and your human eyes can adjust much better. It's why I can see deer and flowers and all the trees and all the little firework things, but you may be seeing nothing. So let's turn the light back off. But I really wanted to show you all the work that's been done on here. These animals move much more naturally now. And it's just nice to be in here with them. And you've got the bucks and you got the does. I'm not sure if there are any fawns in here or not. But the important trick is to... Oh, look at the little sweetheart. Hey, baby. Hi. She's coming down to see us. The important thing to remember is that you can't let other people's jealousy run your life. There are always going to be people jealous of you. Like I said earlier with the French situation, I realized that those people felt threatened that I was there, and I'm like, you know what? Your feelings of fear and frustration and feeling threatened are unpleasant enough that I'm not going to show up. And that doesn't mean I'm letting those people win, or I'm rewarding them for bad behavior. What it does mean is that this is unpleasant enough that I'm not going to show up. And eventually they'll stop inviting me because they'll be like, well, maybe we shouldn't be doing this, because what they'll do is they'll invite you and they won't tell you that 4 or 5 other people are coming. And it's very socially awkward, and they usually do it when it's someone they know you don't get along with. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to put yourself in a situation where you're going to be with someone you don't like, because it's not very considerate of your friends. If you're friends with someone, you really wouldn't invite... If you cared about them both, you really wouldn't invite 2 people you know can't stand each other. You would be like, well, this one can come on this holiday, and that one has that holiday. And neither one might be perfectly happy still like the other, but they would at least understand you're trying to keep them apart, because they're just not going to get along. And sometimes we have to excuse ourselves from social obligations. We have to say, well, I am not going to go. I'm an adult. I actually do get to make up my mind. And even though adults can feel obligated to go, like, oh no, if I don't go, they won't like me anymore. Then they won't like me anymore. That's entirely up to them. And sometimes you can't control that. If people are putting a rider on your friendship, like if you don't come and have dinner with this person I know you really don't like, we aren't really friends, that's not friendship. That's not, friends that want to nurture you and have your back and take care of you. Your really good friends are going to be like, well, I know you two can't stand each other, so I'm not going to make you be in the same room together. That's what your really good friends are going to be like. And real good friends are going to understand that you can't make everything. Sometimes you don't want to. Ooh. And that you're not always going to be perfect, that you're going to have off days, that you're going to have days when you're not there. Now, that's why I was willing to let it slide, as upsetting as it was when I really needed them to listen, that they were rude and kind of chased me out, because they have been generous before. But I thought, no, they have this chronic habit of forcing me and other people, not just me, the other people aren't happy about it either, to spend time together that don't like each other. And you'll always run into people like that just don't want to look at reality. They want to put on rose-colored glasses, and they think, if I force these people to spend enough time together, they'll end up liking each other. It does not work out that way. And if I would be totally honest with those people, I'd say, well, I don't like you because I can tell you're not comfortable with me. If you're not comfortable with me, I won't like you. And they will probably say, well, I'm not comfortable with you because these are my friends and I've been here longer and I don't really want you here. But adults won't be honest, will they? Adults will be like, oh, yeah, I like you. And so it's been very good to work with Wolf Totem and be like, no, I'm reading these people right. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not insane. They just have chosen to take a dislike to me. And there's nothing I can do about it. There's no point in trying to make friends because they don't want to be friends. And I feel like it's timely for one of you, because a lot of times when I'm going through stuff, one of you's going through it too, and I'm like, well, don't feel bad. Not everybody's going to want to be friends with you. It's nothing wrong with you, it's just some people don't like other types of people. And you might be one of the nicest people in the world and they still can't stand you. Some people, for example, don't like nice people. Or they don't like quiet people. Or they don't like people that don't agree with everything they do. Or they don't like people that don't appreciate how aggressive they are. Or whatever. We're not all going to get along with everyone. If you're in a work situation, you kind of have to. But if it's in a social situation, and you're just repeatedly uncomfortable with them, it's totally okay to excuse yourself. Even if it's family, it's totally okay to say, hey, it's gone to the point where I'm really uncomfortable. And if you're going to have this other person there, I'm not going to stop you, but, that's your home, but I cannot be in the same room with that person. And you don't have to put it that bluntly. I tend to be blunt. But that's totally okay. You're not a bad person because you don't want to be around someone that makes you feel lousy. That's a normal human reaction. And like I said, keep in mind, they're not winning anything because they chased you away. There's a part in the Have 'Em All that says the guest who chases another guest away, like frightens them away or, antagonizes them or anything, should be, not proud of themselves, should be ashamed of yourself, because that's very poor treatment of someone that your host invited. So, they're not winning anything. They're just proving how rude and childish they are and how they have the ability to actually clear a room of people. Because you have to be pretty miserable with people if you will not eat with them. I mean, seriously, all humans like to eat. So if you will not eat with a person, you really have to not like them. So it's not you. If it's any, consolation, it is not you. It is this other person. And they just don't want to get along. They lack the ability to get along with people they don't like. Because you're probably sitting there. Hopefully you're sitting there being quiet. If you're antagonizing them, that might be half the problem. But if you've been the one sitting there being quiet, and you've even tried to get along and they just don't want to get along, then by all means decline that invitation Don't feel guilty about it. You do not owe anyone putting up with people that make you miserable or antagonizing towards you. And this is just beautiful. So this is what we're doing for Easter. We're coming out here. And we're chilling out. We're looking at all the animals. And we're looking at the lakes and the rivers and everything else. And I hope you guys enjoy this, but it usually feels timely. I think a lot of people, what younger viewers might not understand, is older people can feel obligated to go, because if I don't go, then maybe my friends won't talk to me anymore. Well, then they weren't my friends. And in your family, you might find that too. I can't tell you why humans usually choose a miserable person to be friends with or to be associated with in the family, and they don't choose a person who's just trying to be quiet and get along with everybody. I have no idea. But it's not that they like them better or anything else, it's just that seems to be the person that always gets catered to. And that's just life sometimes. Sometimes the most miserable people end up getting their way because everybody else doesn't want them to be miserable to them. It might just be as simple as that. So don't worry about it if you're skipping out on Easter or skipping out on any other holiday, or you left your circle because there was this one witch you would like to set on fire even though you remember the burning times, and that's perfectly fine. Some people were just jerks, and they'll end up alone is what they'll end up. But in the meantime, they'll just be making everybody else miserable. So it's totally okay to not want to be with them. It's not you. You're not paranoid, you're probably reading them well, and everybody else is kind of burying their head in the sand and being like, no, they're not mean. Yeah, they're mean. They're mean. Everybody else just isn't going to admit to it for whatever reason. So, I figured I would bring you out in nature, because I kind of hate when people are like, we have to all get along. Well, some people don't want to get along. Some people truly do not want to get along, and you're not obligated to spend time with those individuals. If they're that nasty and that toxic, and whatever their behavior is doing is setting you on edge, do not spend time with them. You don't owe them your time, and you don't owe anybody else spending time with them. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you later. Bye-bye.